Hi guys, this is Chris Kovach, Regional Solutions Consultant for Tobii Dynavox. Today I'm here at Brooks Rehabilitation Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida, and they have been kind enough to let me come into the wheelchair clinic, and we're going to look at a couple different wheelchairs today. And I'm going to make a couple videos. The purpose of these videos are going to be to help you identify the type of chair you're working with so that we can determine the proper fastener for your wheelchair mount. And then in subsequent videos, I'm going to show you how to install our S-tube mounting system for someone that might be using an eye gaze system. All right, so we're going to get started with a manual wheelchair. So we're going to go over here to this standard manual chair. And the first thing we want to look at or to kind of discuss is where we think this device is going to be mounted. We know that on an I-series device, it has to be roughly 20 to 22 inches away from the client's face. So we want to look at this chair and see, does it tilt is the first question. Because if it tilts, we want to make sure that we're trying to mount to a portion of the chair that will tilt the device with the user as they lean back in the chair. On this particular chair, this is a non-tilting chair, so we can choose to mount wherever we find it easiest and most convenient. So with that being said, we want to take a look at what obstructions we have. As we attach a mounting system, we might cause other features of the chair to touch the mounting system or become unusable, and we want to avoid that if at all possible. So we want to look and see brake levers. How far out do they close? As we're building this mounting system up and over, we want to make sure that this brake lever is not interfering with the mounting system. If we had footrests on here and that client's going to be swinging and opening those footrests, are we going to be blocking any of that with the mounting system? So these are all things to think about. Once we've kind of figured out what area of the chair we want to mount to, whether it's the right side, the left side, and which tube location we want, we need to figure out what the size of that tubing is. So your Tobii Dynavox rep will most likely have a nice little handy tool that's easy to use, something like this, where we can just come up to it and say, find the right size, and we know that that's a 1-inch tube. Well, that's nice and easy, but you might not have something like this laying around. So there's another way to do this. Find a strip of paper and wrap that piece of paper around the tube, and then draw a line to connect those two pieces of paper. So you'll see that that line, between those two lines, we would take a tape measure and we would measure the distance between those lines, right? So what that's going to give you is the diameter of that tube, or I'm sorry, the circumference of that tube. So we're going to go back and we're going to do a little bit of math, right? So the most common tube measurements are going to be 2 3/4 inches around is going to be 2.75 inches in decimal form, and then 3 3/16 is going to equal 3.1875 in decimal form. So in order for us to figure out what size that tube is, we're going to take 2.75 divided by pi, or 3.14, and that's going to tell us that it's 0.875, which is a 7/8 inch tube. For 3.185 divided by 3.14, that's going to tell us it's a 1-inch tube. So now we know we've got the right size tube fastener that we can either tell our rep to put on the quote, or if you guys are calling in and ordering a piece, you know you've got the right one. Now, a little professional tip, this is a 1-inch round fastener right here, right? So this is what you're going to get if you order a 1-inch round. Now, if you're not quite sure, or you're second guessing yourself on your measurements, and you want to just, err on the side of caution, order the 7/8 inch round. What the 7/8 inch round is going to do is it's going to show up with the same 1-inch round tube clamp, but it's also going to include these reduction sleeves, all in the same part, right? So what you do with these reduction sleeves, move this out of the way, is we open up the mount fastener, and the reduction sleeves simply sit in there. So when you attach it to the mounting system, you're now attaching to a 7/8 inch mount, or I'm sorry, a 7/8 inch tube. So it kind of gives you two mounting solutions in one part number. Okay. So that's a little bit on a standard non-tilting chair. Now, if we were looking at a second manual wheelchair, maybe one that does tilt, we do all the same things, right? We're looking for obstructions. We're looking for where does the device have to be once it's all said and done. But on a chair like this that tilts, we want to try and find somewhere on this tube that allows us to mount, because this is the tube that's going to lift and lower as they tilt the chair itself. So as that device is out here and they tilt the chair back, we want that device to move with the customer, okay? So you would want to pay attention to the different areas on here, find out where we want to mount to, and verify the size of the tube, and then build your mount out from that area. All right. So next we're going to talk about some power wheelchairs. So we have a Permobile chair here. This is the Corpus M3. And Permobile is actually pretty straightforward when it comes to choosing a mount fastener, because almost all of the new Permobile chairs use the Unitrack, right? So you're going to see these two tracks right here. This is where we're going to be mounting to. And if you want to verify that, we can kind of turn this to the side a little bit, pop this little end cap out, and you'll see that we have two individual channels there. All right. So ordering for the Permobile, it's pretty straightforward. You can call us up or tell your rep that it's a Permobile chair and you just need the Permobile fastener, and it's going to come included. Now, things to think about with a power wheelchair. You have controls, you might have cup holders, you might have other things attached to this chair. So again, it's going to be very important to talk about what kind of obstructions do we have. In some cases, you might be able to mount to this chair and sneak the mount up and under the actual control arm. Or you might have to go to the other side of the chair because it's going to run into this, or maybe the client transfers out of this side of the chair and we don't want this mount obstructing their ability to transfer. So just questions you have to ask with the customer and figure out where the best solution is going to be for that individual. Okay. So now we're going to move on to another type of channel, and this is an Invacare chair. And you'll notice that we're mounting to the same general location. Down here, right below the seat, you're going to see another channel. Now this one is just going to be a single track channel. So if we look at this from the side, one thing to keep in mind is that the most common channel is the one we're going to look at right now. And it's going to look like that, or kind of like a T cut channel. What you want to verify is there are a couple companies out there, they're pretty infrequent now, that use a dovetail. So it doesn't look like this. It looks like a dovetail joint you would have in some old cabinetry. So when we're looking at this, we want to verify from the end that we're using that square cut channel or a T channel. And then we can order the proper channel nut fastener from our office. All right, so thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully that helps to give you guys some more information on how to determine which fastener you need to order for your customer, and watch the upcoming videos for how to install to these particular chairs. Thanks.